Good evening, Booktube, YouTube. This is Johnny. Hope you're all doing well. I was looking at YouTube. I'm on YouTube and Booktube all the time. Not saying I watch all the Booktube people I subscribe to, but I go on to see what people are reading and what books they're showing on their videos. But it's been 4 days. Here in West Michigan, it is 10:20 at night. It is October the 7th, 2021. It is a Thursday night. I'm down in the lower level, which you know is the main library. And I was down here because I told you I was sleeping back upstairs with my wife, but then I couldn't get any sleep because I'm a light sleeper, and I don't know. I don't like it down here, sleeping down here, but I suppose this is where I can stretch out my arms and lay in bed as long as I want in the mornings. My wife gets up really early, and then I wake up, and I was getting more and more tired. So I'm back down here, and I'm down here. This is what this video is. It's just showing some books that I got recently. I did get some books in the mail. I got books at thrift stores. Today I had to cover for somebody at the Book Nook for 2 hours from 3 to 5, and I got some books. I'm going to show those, but I'm just going to show you some books I got in the mail. Some books I picked up at Blue Stocking Bookshop. I mentioned I went there, was it last week or this week? I don't remember. But I told you I went there and I looked at a set of the works of Victor Hugo, which I've not heard anything about. But when I was there, I had some books I set aside. Wait a minute, I got to show something. When I was at Blue Stocking, I had set some books aside, and I picked them up, and I had in-store credits, so I got them. And one of the books I set aside it's a Paris Review. This was summer of 1993. And the reason why I got this is because in this edition is an interview with James Salter, one of my favorite American writers. I have all his books over there on the shelf, and I highly recommend his writings, James Salter. And there was an interview in here with him, and I just wanted that from my Paris Review collection. Most of this stuff is poetry, drawings, but I have a whole shelf of old Paris Reviews over there. If I see any, I pick them up. And this is Paris Review 127. I think it was summer of 93. So I collect those. I got that at the Blue Stocking. And then I had set aside the Samuel Johnson Rassalis Poems and Selected Prose. I got this on in-store credit. There are some essays from the Idler that I didn't have, and notes to Shakespeare, and some different things I didn't have in my Samuel Johnson collection, so I picked that up in-store credit. And then I was looking around, and I found a novel by Ella Kazan, who is a very famous film producer, and he wrote novels. And he wrote a book called The Arrangement. Well, first of all, I've had his autobiography for years, Ella Kazan, A Life, written by him. And so when I was at the Blue Stocking, I saw this novel by him, The Arrangement. The arrangement is a novel for those who rejoice in the rare experience these days of getting hooked by a master storyteller. The hero, anti-hero, of this narrative is a highly successful Los Angeles writer, advertising executive born and evangelist artist, now known as Eddie Anderson, by Lion Evans artists over his magazine pieces. And it goes on. Anyway, I just got this because I wanted to put it with my autobiography written by Alexander. So that's why I got it, and I got it free, and so I could put those together. And then I picked up this book. I bought this. I had to pay for it. I paid $7 for it, and it's called "The Worm in the Bud: The World of Victorian Sexuality" by Ronald Pearsall. Now, I collect books on Victorian period literature, anything. I have a whole bunch of books over there. I was going to bring them out, but I didn't, on the Victorian period in British history, but I picked this up. I read maybe 33 pages of this, and it's really interesting, so I picked this up for $7. It goes for $12.50, so I had some in-store credit, so I got that. And then I got, first of all, I'm going to show a book that Rick Harsch sent me. Those who are in Booktube have seen this book by Noah. I forgot his channel. Noah has a channel, Leaf by Leaf. He has shown these books, Chris. And I bought this book, a couple of years ago. First edition, April 2020. It's called The Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas by Rick Harsch. And and Noah had a video where he was showing books from small press, and one of the press, Rick Harsch publishes and books. Anyway, I was going to order some books from him, and it took me a while to figure it out, and finally I was able to order a book that I wanted from him. But in the meanwhile, the other day he sent me a book, which I totally did not expect to get in the mail, and I was really surprised and grateful. It's called America, the Cult of the Cactus Boots, a Diagnostic by Phillip, Freedenberg, visuals by Jeff Walton. Noah has a bunch of videos interviewing these guys and talking about this book, and so Rick sent it to me. It was a gift, and I thank you, Rick. I'm sure Rick is not watching my videos, but anyway, I got this book in the mail, and it says here in the back, American, the Cult of the Cactus Boots, a Diagnostic, explores philosophy, neuroscience, totalitarianism, alchemy, technology, psychology, cosmetology, psychedelia, politics, physics, mystery, adventure, obscurism, poetry, and literature within an obscure hero's quest. So, anyway, check it out. Check out the videos. I think Leaf by Leaf has a video, and Noah has some videos. Maybe below I'll put directions to those videos if you're interested. I also got in the mail, I found out that Joseph McElroy, this had just been reprinted. It was first published in 1969. It's called Heinz Kidnap. And I collect his writings, which are very hard to find, very rare. And so I picked this up, got it in the mail, I think last week. They had printed this book I had wanted for a long, long time, and Kazan Books. They published it. It's called Women and Men by Joseph McElroy. And it's a massive thing. It's over 1,292 pages. I've always wanted this for years and years, and it was very rare, very expensive, used, but they republished it, and I'm hoping they'll reprint all his works. And then I got in the mail a book I pre-ordered. It was in paperback, The Saddest Words, William Faulkner's Civil War by Michael Gorrs. I got this from my Faulkner collection, which is up there, and I wanted to read this, so I got this, The Saddest Words, William Faulkner's Civil War. Yeah. He also did a book on Henry James, and I think on his novel Portrait of a Lady, which I plan to get sometime this year or next year. And then I got 2 books by Alexander Theroux, which he is a writer. He wrote one of my most favorite books, Laura. I've shown this book in the past. Laura the Warholic, the sexual intellectual novel by Alexander Theroux. And this is one of my favorite all-time books. And then I also had it in my library, and I started reading it today. His book, Dareconville. I remember how to pronounce it. It's Dareconville's Cat. I can't pronounce it. By Alexander Theroux. I started reading this today because the reason why is I got this book in the mail. Well, first I got his short stories in the mail, and I ordered his poetry, which is all coming out, and this came out in what year? I think this came out 2021. His short stories, early stories by Alexander Theroux. And then a person who's like an authority on Alexander Theroux is Stephen Moore. And he wrote a book. Well, over a period of 35 years, he wrote about him, Alexander Theroux. He interviewed him. He did different reviews and different pieces on him, and he put them all together in a book, Fans Notes, and I got that in the mail. Stephen Moore. I have a book by Stephen Moore that's really famous. Right here. This is one of my favorite books about books. Stephen Moore, My Back Pages, Reviews and Essays. This is a book that you should have in your library to find out about writers that are not known or not in the mainstream. Like he has in here a whole essay that's in this book, but it's also in here. And he has he mentions all kinds of writers, and reason why I like this is because when I'm going to thrift stores or I'm going to see one of the books I ordered from Rick Harsch, he reprinted the writings of Chandler Brossard, Brossard, and I ordered his novel. It was called I think it was called As the Wolf Howls, something like that. As the Wolf Howls. So, but he has a long essay on him in there. Stephen Moore. So I like this book because I'm always using it looking for writers and books that you normally don't hear anything about. So it's a good book. He also did a 2-volume work, Stephen Moore, on a novel in alternative history, which I plan to get someday. It's been on my to-be acquired list for a long time. But check this book out. My back page is Stephen Moore. So I highly recommend this. So I was reading this the last couple of days and about Alexander Theroux. So he has a chapter in there I plan to read. And so anyway, I got that. I haven't started reading the early stories yet. But I have, years ago I started reading this, and then I somehow I don't know, I put it aside, but now I'm reading it. I have read most of this. This is my favorite books. I highly recommend it. If you want a rich reading experience, read this book. Get it. So that's my book wrap for Thursday night. It's going on 10:35 at night here in West Michigan. So yeah, tomorrow Friday, I have my shift. I have to be, well, it's my regular shift on Friday, and I have some books over there on the couch that I could show you. I got from the Book Nook, but this video has gone long enough. It's more chaotic. I'm just going all over the place. And it's one thing about making videos. I like to be real, even though it might come off that I'm kind of like a crazy old man and tongue-tied. But I just want to show you the books that maybe you never heard of. Check this one out. Dareconville's Cat. Read Faulkner. Faulkner is something I have not read since high school. I've read short stories by him, but none of his novels, which are up there. I have his whole shelves of his stuff. And this has been really interesting. The Worm in the Bud, The World of Victorian Sexuality by Ronald Pearsall. And check out this book, America and the Cult of the Cactus Boots, Diagnostic by Phillip Freedenberg. And check out the novels of Rick Harsch, The Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas, a novel. Just type, he has a YouTube site too, Rick Harsch, and you can contact him and you can buy his books through PayPal. As far as what I'm reading in the mornings for devotions, The Abuse of God's Grace this is a Puritan reprint by Nicolas Claget. I can't pronounce the name, but I've been reading this in the morning. And so that's what's going on here. I had my 5th or 6th session with my therapist today. We just talked. Nothing really major. But I'm hanging in there. The Lord's giving grace. Taking my pills at night, help me sleep. Some Xanax. Stay in the Word of God. Yeah, this verse has been going through my mind all day, and I'll just close with that. It's from Colossians. And it's what I try to keep in my mind each day as I'm going through it. It says in Colossians chapter 3, verse 1, "If then you were raised with Christ, seek those things which are above, where Christ is sitting at the right hand of God. Set your mind on things above, not on the things on the earth. For you died, and your life is hidden with Christ in God. When Christ, who is our life, appears, then you also will appear with him in glory." So that's why I try to keep in my mind every day that I have been raised with Christ, and I'm supposed to set my mind on things above and not on the things of this earth. And that one day Christ will come again, and we will be ushered into his glorious presence with the elect angels and all the redeemed saints, the church triumphant. And that's why I got to keep him on my mind as I go through this insane, crazy, screwed up world. So I hope you're all doing well. This is a Thursday, tomorrow's a Friday. Hope you had a good week. Have a good reading weekend. And until next time, bye.